switch my mic off a second, I'll have a mooch.
Yep, no problem. Ah, there we go. Part 4 is up. Glad that
Excellent.
I
Yeah,
got sorted sooner than later. Thanks for that.
Oh, no problem. Good luck with your stream, and I'll catch you later, mate.
Yep. Thanks again.
No problem. Good luck.
Also got the matter of thumbnails and stuff to sort. But again, hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of the ERF Bathurst 12 hours for 2023. I am your lead commentator, Zokeo, of the Zokeo Network and Nookshot Media. Apologies again for the technical difficulties at the start. Hopefully no more of those, as I'm attempting to navigate YouTube Studio. It's not appearing on here. Oh, I know, the way I did it before was I had to add it to like a playlist or something so I could click on it. I don't suppose one of the other members of staff that has access to the channel could help me out with that thumbnail thing. Could they? That would be very much appreciated if they could. As it seems the gap has closed up quite significantly all of a sudden between Sabolch and Apex Magnet. Saw Sabolch was weaving. I'm not sure what that's about. As Apex Magnet does have front damage, so that's something to take note of. 2 Nissan GTRs at the head of the field, the 2018 model for both. Godzilla reigning supreme once again on the mountain, it would seem, as Apex Magnet looking to make a move going into Griffin's Bend, couldn't quite pull it off, maybe into the cutting. Contrasting lines. All of a sudden it does look like Apex Magnet has the pace here, even though they have the mechanical damage. Very strange. Oh, look how much more track width also Apex Magnet was using there. Right up towards the wall. As there's the pass going into the S's, they're side by side. There's a little bit of contact. Oh, and a bit of a bump as well. Well, no sooner do we start stint 4, we've got a bit of onion barges going on. Oh, more contact going into the dipper. Doesn't look like any additional damage to Apex Magnet nor Sabolch. Yeah, that was very strange indeed, because before the stream started, Sabolch made an overtake on Apex. They were originally behind, and then started to pull away to the tune of about 5 seconds until Apex caught up again. And now, oh, what on earth was that? That looked very suspicious. And for some stupid reason, my replay keyboard's not working. Oh, okay, they're taking swipes at each other. Sabolch, I think, has lost their head at this point. I'm not sure why. Some kind of disagreement. This is all going to end in tears, isn't it? Yep, as I thought. This is going to be a major penalty for Sabolch. Apex Magnet turned around. That was premeditated, I have to say. Obviously, I don't have the full data and stuff, but even with the potential of netcode, all of that was extremely suspect. I'm sure the moderators will have their say. Thankfully, Apex Magnet doesn't have any more mechanical damage than they originally had, as they lifting off. The gap's closing down again. All of this is going to lead to third place perhaps catching up. Is it? Third place is 3 minutes down. Wow. Top two really have had a strong pace advantage. There is T17. As the war on circuit continues. This is peasantry. I'm sorry, there's no other way to call this. The stewards will look into it. I'm not going to focus on it anymore for the sake of the live stream. Just saw 8th place being overtook by T17. Of course, ERF president and series organizer. Many thanks to them for once again putting on the event. Just going over chat again. Yeah, some wild reactions in chat. That's understandable. Apologies, I'm still somewhat setting up my setup here. Setting up my setup. Can't write this. Do I just not have the keyboard replay function? Oh, that sucks. It might be because I joined the lobby after the race had started, so that bug still persists. So apologies for that. Let me just get up this spotter's guide. I'll switch over to 4th place. Digital Let's Stream. Again, many apologies for the probably butchered pronunciation of usernames. Spotter's guide. Where are you? There we go. Thanks again as things start to settle in for stint 4, part 4. Kevin KM32 in chat saying they should stop the race and start again with the results of stint 3 with a red flag. I'm assuming that's to do with the incident in the lead. I'm not a race director or anything like that, so I don't have the authority in that sense. So just gonna have to continue, I suppose, for now. But 11 seconds the gap between these two now, and I'm surprised there's no more mechanical damage between these two, if I'm honest. It's a bit more lappery commences. Now I was told that there'll be a co-commentator. That might still occur. I'm not 100% sure. They might be joining the party chat in a bit. Remains to be seen. Either way, I'm here. Hello. Zokeo once again. Again, I can't black flag anyone because I'm not a race director or sorts. It'll most likely be sorted by the end of the stint, at the very least. Or like even just post-race. But yeah, really unfortunate to see. But let's focus on some other things as well. Here we see 4th place, the best of the non-Nissans. That Lexus RCF. Again, a somewhat similar car to the Nissan. It's a little bit smaller in size. Lots of a drafting footprint. Plenty of grunt on the straights, so quite well suited to the circuit. Welsh Great. Actually, I had in my head it was Welsh Great that was meant to be co-commentating. Perhaps there was a miscommunication or something there on Discord. I'm not too sure. Either way, they're there. Some of the liveries don't seem to have loaded, which is unfortunate as well. Nick has just left. There's CLR Speedy, old rival of mine from some of the Speedy Endurance Championship races. Always seems to be some kind of magnetic force between my car and his. But I'm not on circuit today. He seems to be doing a very good job in 6th at the moment. A couple laps down. Of course, this is quite late on into the race. We're effectively in the second half, so the field will be very spread out. Randy Moore on a lap all by themselves, it would seem, by this graphic. In the Porsche. Being chased down by 9th place. Yeah, this spotter's guide's going to be a bit iffy if the liveries aren't loaded. Some of them have. AC Savolch in the GTR. Beefy FR Ju. Is that Tiju? I'm going to pronounce it Tiju, just because that's the best way that I think I can pronounce it. It's probably wrong again, apologies for that. But they're in 8th. ART Wooly letting some of the cars ahead of them by. Blue flags. Nice and respectful there. Thomas Betty, there's a name that I recognise in that Porsche 911. A little bit of lag going on, unfortunately for them. But they're actually got some of the closest gaps to them compared to some of the other cars. So GMAC, who is in 11th, 11 seconds back as well. That Mercedes, that's the older Mercedes now, we can officially say. Don't believe the newer one was homologated for this event. It might be for the next one that we got in an update. But yep, GMAC in 11th. Gecko Racers just joined the lobby. Bunch of shops up there. Hansa, they're in 12th. Another name that I recognise from some other events. And very closely behind them is M. Walter. They may have been catching up throughout all this. And also, 14th place, DCT Incredible. So these three are extremely close together on circuit. This might be a case of their teammates having a different pace order compared to these guys, if they're swapping around. It does seem like Incredible is a little bit faster through that mountain section. That McLaren seemingly struggling a little bit, a bit slidey on the downhill. The livery's disappearing, you say? I thought they just never loaded in the first place. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I've just switched camera and there's more chaos. Yep, and that's Savolch is gone. So Savolch was the one that was causing a lot of the kerfuffle earlier. So they're gone now. I don't know whether they were kicked or anything along those lines, but hopefully the race can resume to level of normality. Apex Magnet has picked up some front left suspension damage through all of these exchanges, and that's actually allowed T17 to catch up, although they are a lap down, so they're hoping to get past Apex Magnet and unlap themselves. Very close to the McLaren. Oh, close-up shot. Just put the hazard lights on as well there, did T17. It's a way of signalling to the other drivers. So that promotes Lecce up into third place. So provisional podium, still with plenty of the race to go for that Lexus team. If they're the only Lexus team, that I believe would be ready to race. Yes, that is the ready to race team. So that's the 00 cars. They just clip a bit of grass on entry to the chicane. The chase, rather, to give it its proper name. 31 viewers, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's all very much appreciated. Of course, this is a charity event. There is a link in the description. A Just Giving page in response to the earthquakes that have been going on in Turkey and Syria. It doesn't matter the size of the donation, anything can help, and even if you can't donate, sharing the stream with friends, family, all of it, very much appreciated. All goes to a good cause. So yeah, definitely check that link out in the description if able. So with no traffic in between them, Apex Magnet and T17, first and second, a lap separating them, T17 looking to get them back and back onto the lead lap. Start chipping away at that advantage, perhaps catch back up to them again. It does seem that T17 has a little bit of extra pace over Apex Magnet, although that's probably also compounded by the fact Apex Magnet's had damage. This would be a good time to have promoted a car insurance company, but none are sponsoring us. Have you had an accident at the circuit that wasn't your fault? Unfortunately, Apex Magnet seems to have. Indeed. I wonder if Apexes actually know that T17 was a lap down to them. They let them go by, so no real fighting there between those two. Knows probably then that it isn't full position, and the blue flags come out. One just spawned in that marshal's hand. Did you see that? this incredible battle for 11th, 12th and 13th still continues. Incredible has managed to get past M. Walter. Oh, a little bit squirrely over the curb. McLaren can be a little bit dodgy over some of the higher curbs, and Mount Panorama, while it isn't the Nürburgring for its curb heights, it is higher than normal for them. That gap's starting to increase again, and Incredible looking to close in on Hansa as well. And that blue Mercedes. Again, highly doubt it's blue in actuality. Unfortunately, this glitch with liveries has happened. Hansa in the number 66 car. That's normally black and orange by the spotter's guide. Only the ERF livery showing on the broadcast. I'll go through everyone. So, Apex Magnet there. Let's start. T17, that livery's loaded. Let's G. Was great. Speedy. Randy Moore. As we have someone into the pits actually, we just caught. That's Tiju. They've picked up mechanical damage. It looks like they may have span at some point, because they've got front and rear aero damage. That to me indicates they've factored in. But that sprint model BMW M6, seems like they changed tyres there, fueling up as well. Might as well while you're in the pits. And the mechanical damage being repaired shortly. So that's put them off strategy. So I don't believe they'd lose any positions based on the positioning of gaps. Back out the pits they go. Also don't know if there was another car involved in that one. I don't think anyone else went to the pits, so it may have just been them losing it by themselves. Thomas Betty seems to have a different livery of some kind. As they've actually overshot the braking point for the S's and let an Aston Martin go by. That's Welsh Great in 4th place. GMEC, that's also a stock livery. Hansa. Now I know that one's a glitch livery because that's the standard AMG one, but with the blue base of the alternate. Maybe that's the same kind of a glitch that's happened to DCT Incredible, who is catching up. 1 second gap between those two, and M. Walter has lost position by about 9.5 seconds. Into the pits comes Thomas Betty in Mercedes. Actually, you saw there on the right rather, of the screen when we switch cars, that it does show the proper livery of these. Oh, they're in a Porsche. Of course. Some strange things going on with Gran Turismo 7 today. Well, through all the chaos, the race leader is 20 laps into their 59 lap stint. So that's gone by very quickly. We're still just having to manage with that mechanical damage. Unintentional rhyming here. Let's see a bit of heat haze coming off that Nissan GTR. Might be normal. Could be a result of the damage. I'm waffling, this game doesn't go into that much detail. Plenty of rubber will have built up on the track as well. You can see chunks of it down the stopping straight. T17 has managed to increase the gap as they continue their charge to get back onto the tail of them again. As due to the pit stops, M. Walters managed to get ahead of Thomas Batty. .4 seconds the gap between those two, and seemingly increasing it quite oh! Thomas Batty's actually picked up damage at some point. I'm assuming that was by themselves. Maybe cold tyres going out the pits. They did just make a pit stop, of course. And they're coming back in again. This is major disappointment for that team. Trying to find which Porsche that would be. It's the number 11 car of DC team. Back out again, as of all the cars on circuit, it would seem that Lecce is the fastest in terms of driver pace. They have the fastest lap of this particular stint of the race, 2 minutes .969. I have my doubts about anyone else going below a 2:01. As oh! Apex Magnet has just left. That's our race leader. Not sure what's happened there. Oh, that's extremely unfortunate. I'm assuming that was a disconnect of some kind. Hopefully they'll be able to, that team will be able to join for stint 5. But that has promoted T17 to the lead. They have a 1 lap advantage over Lecce. Let's see how this one develops. Sorry, I can't believe I just said that on air. Oh, look at the pace of that Lexus as it closes in on the McLaren there of ART Woolley. Woolley letting them pass before the S's, nicely done. It's a difficult circuit for the drivers having to obey blue flags because a lot of it is pretty much one groove, and with the walls so close there really isn't much of a margin for error. It's a bit easier on the downhill, but through the mountain section it's very tricky to let a car past. Welsh Grey up into third now in that Aston Martin. Checking the spotter's guide again. I believe that would be car 31 of Team MRL. Apex seems to have rejoined the lobby. Like that. CLR Speedy in fourth. Randy Moore in 5th. They've actually not long set their personal best lap of this stint, 201.929 on lap 16. Very good stuff from them. Tiju. They're currently 6th overall. ART Woolley in 7th, a minute and 7 back. That wasn't that McLaren in the background, that was the other one. This is ART Woolley, who is in 7th. GMAC in 8th. 9th place Jack Hansa, and then we get to the group that's quite close together. It seems that Hansa's managed to keep Incredibile at bay. That gap seems to have somewhat stabilized between those two. Just going to quickly check on the fuel and tyre situation. It's very even between the two. Of course, Porsche being mid-engine and the Mercedes being front. You'd normally expect a bit more differential in tyre wear between those two. Yeah, the fronts are wearing a little bit more on Hamilton's car, but nothing significant. You see a helicopter as well over the circuit, a little bit shaky from Hansa on the downhill. It's allowing Incredibile to catch up just that little bit. Not quite in slipstream range, and that's going to be the crucial factor, I think. There's also a bit of a crosswind as they go down the Conrad straight of 2.2 meters a second. Someone spun in the S's. I'm not sure who. I'm scanning through the order. M. Walter, I believe it is. They've picked up damage. Again, really easy to lose it over the crest of Skyline going into the S's. Now, will they pit or will they choose to stay on this strategy? As we saw Apex do for their stint until they presumably disconnected. Will they pit? Will they stay out? Okay, they choose to pit. Thomas Betty goes back past for what will be 11th place as the McLaren makes its way to its garage. And there is the Porsche of Thomas Betty. And another Porsche behind him. Who's that? Randy Moore. That's 5th place. Quite a gap between those different laps. Just looking at the track map, everyone is very much spaced out. There isn't really one section of circuit that is without a car. Very evenly spread. I'm going to tune back into the battle for 9th and 10th place. This is by far the closest battle on circuit for position. There you see Hansa and Incredibile. That gap seems to have increased just that little bit as the Porsche is starting to burn through its rear softs. Well, that will continue to get worse and worse as the car starts sliding more. I'm gonna reload the live stream. There we go. Thanks again for everyone who is tuning in. Again, a reminder, this is for charity. Be sure to check out the links in the description. To help out those affected by the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, of course. Seems just through that little section the Mercedes gains a little bit more time over the Porsche. Perhaps just that stability of the front engine layout helping Hansa out. You see our resident cameraman on the hill taking photos. As was that Incredible into the wall on exit? Well, they haven't picked up damage. If it was the case, it looked a little bit shaky. That might just be because it's their own controller. Some of the inputs can be a bit twitchy, or even netcode for that matter. Hello again to everyone in chat. I've just saw James Wiggins in chat. Thanks for joining us. Currently 28 viewers on the live stream. Thanks to everyone again for supporting this. Now I chose stint 4 because I knew it'd pretty much be a relatively dead stint in terms of all the fields spread out, but we're not near the end yet. It's going to be one of those kind of stints. But the fact that there is battles still this close on circuit is fantastic to see. Long may it continue. As Incredible's actually personal best by a decent margin there through turn 1, that first sector. But as they get to the mountain section, the Mercedes starts gapping them once again. Oh, look how close again Hansa gets to the wall. These drivers are, well, not on the limit, very, very close to it. You've got to have a little bit of reserve to keep it out of the wall, a little bit of margin for error. You wouldn't think it though. On the downhill, the Porsche seems to be a little bit quicker. The gap has closed into 1.3 seconds. Still not quite slipstream range. Though interesting, the Porsche seems to have the legs on the Mercedes on the straight. That is fascinating. Definitely wouldn't have expected that. And if Incredible does manage to close up into slipstream range, this will be a fantastic battle. Because it does seem that these two are inseparable in terms of pace. Still around 1.3, 1.2 seconds. Very nice exit from the Porsche as Hansa seemed to make a little bit of a mistake. The gap is closing down. It's the smallest it's been for quite a while. And again, another personal best through that first sector for Incredible. Trying to get the onboard cameras to work. Okay, J is this one. The good one. Bonnet cam. Closing in. On the uphill seems to have been where the Mercedes has been very strong. But this time, the Porsche continues to gain. Hansen might be feeling the pressure a little bit. Just got to keep it nice and smooth. Look at that. 0.596 up on their own personal best. As really chucking it into the S's goes Incredible. And Walter into the pits once again. Do they have damage, I wonder, or not? Okay, they do have damage. I was going to say, because they'd not long pitted. They were on mediums, though, so they got the mediums out of the way. If that is a mandatory requirement. Ah, okay. Controls are a little bit different. That's how you get rear wing cam in GT7. Use look back rather than having a specific button. Though unfortunately, the rear wing camera from the AMG is quite obstructed. But well within slipstream range now is Incredible. Switching back to their perspective, they'll be closing on up. Wasn't in the end a personal best lap by them, but still very solid. And I think the dirty air has affected them a bit through Griffin's Bend. Coming into the cutting and this uphill section. They may have actually backed off just that little bit in order to get cleaner air for this mountain section. You really don't want to be following a car too close through here. Nice throttle control. Closing up again on hands. Oh! Bit of a mistake. Just a little bit too overzealous into the S's. Fascinating stuff. And the gap has now pretty much got up to what it was before, around 1.7 seconds. Incredible will have to make that up all again. While Hansa has a decent amount of rear tyres left in comparison. So it'll be very tricky for Incredible, especially on the uphill section, trying to put the power down. Swapping over to some of the other cars at the moment then. T17 still a race leader after some of the leaders unfortunately left this particular stint. But that is car 23, our series organizer as well. Fantastic livery as well from the Race Asylum team. A bit different from what they've traditionally run, with the sort of comic book styling, you may recall. This one is a sort of half and half HKS tribute in memory of the victims, no doubt, of the Turkey and Syria earthquakes. Nice touch there on the side decal. Lecce, second place at the moment, although getting between second and third, was that always around that 20-second mark? Just going to do a quick lap comparison. They're about the same. What's great isn't making overly big strides into that position, but a little bit shaky as well for that final corner. But that gap just takes one slight mistake, whether that's mechanical damage or something along those lines. There's that wild moment on the exit of turn 1 for Welsh Great. It just takes that one slight thing, and that's the positions on the podium swapped around. Of course, these guys not only driving for themselves, but driving for their teammates. There's that added dynamic of responsibility. VLR Speedy will be looking to capitalise, if they can, on any misfortunes. Just off the podium at the moment, in 4th place, but we know they're fast. Seen that in many an event. Randy Moore has actually picked up damage, so unfortunately, I was wondering if the curse of the commentator would happen. It seems to have, for Randy Moore, in 5th place. Although they are on a lap by themselves, it would seem, so if they did choose to go into the pits, they wouldn't lose position. Based on the lap deltas, it would seem they haven't actually pitted that long ago. They might choose to stay out here and ride the stint out. No, they're playing it safe. Won't lose anything but time by making this stop. Oh, apologies. Hansa has actually been overtaken by Incredible at some point. Of course, the one time that we cut away. Lap 22, there was a 2 minute 12.8, so it seems that Hansa made a mistake on that lap. And that's when the pass was made. Welsh Grey into the pits. Around the halfway mark, so looking to be about a 1 stop for the majority of the field, at least for this stint. But Incredible is catching up to G-Mac, it would seem, and M. Walters also caught up to G-Mac as well, although at least 1 lap down. Either that or G-Mac just passed them. Got a live news report there from the new in chat. Not so much a mistake, the rear broke away in a really odd way for Hansa. In the S's. The S's again. That's been a really tricky place for a lot of people. We've seen several cars lose it there. Of course, when you're braking and turning at the same time, the cars wanted to swap ends, then you combine the downhill, and it's a recipe for disaster. You have to be very precise with the car control, and it would seem that Hansa were caught out by that, unfortunately. Although saying that, they didn't pick up any damage, so they did well to avoid that. The S is, of course, very confined with those walls. Incredible seemingly benefiting from some slipstream off of M. Walters' McLaren, going down that Conrad straight. Incredible's definitely been the mover of the race this particular stint. He's sort of lower positions at the moment, looking to make his way towards the midfield. Doing a very good job of it at this stage. Just going to do a quick tyre comparison again. Oh, G-Max actually picked up damage, so they would have significantly dropped pace. I forget if that was recent, whether we saw that the last time we were on board with G-Mac or not. That front right tyre is absolutely cooked on the Mercedes. Burnt to an absolute crisp. Still managing to get close to the walls. Well, that damage combined with that front right tyre is definitely going to be hindering their performance. And Incredible, I reckon, is going to be within slipstream range by the exit of the S's. Second place, Lecce, is in the pits. That's the Lexus. Incredible not quite within slipstream range, but now is. So that front aero definitely affecting the top speed of the Mercedes as well. There is Lecce. I think that was Randy Moore also pitting, or Speedy. I think it's Speedy actually. There they are. Going back to this, GMAC has decided to pit before they get overtaken. Save some dignity in that respect. But unfortunate, it's coming up to about where you'd want to make a pit stop, towards the halfway mark. You'd have to do a bit of a longer second stint though. Based on the fuel, I reckon it should be possible for him to go to the end from here. He's had it a while, thanks Black Flag Racing TV. Always good having our correspondence in chat, picking up on things that my relatively small capacity brain can't quite pick up on. GMAC rejoins the circuit in 10th place. And there's Thomas Betty, who's in 11th. They're around 10 seconds behind GMAC, though I reckon Thomas Betty will have a pit stop still to go, based on their sequence. And with all that shaken out, let's have a review of the order once again. T17 leads for Race Asylum. Pretty much the only livery that is loaded properly. Again, apologies for that, I'm sort of out of my control, but I suppose it is what it is. Lecce, after their recent pit stop, they are in second place, 25 seconds ahead of Welsh Grapes, who has also made their pit stop quite recently. We're officially past the halfway point for these leaders. CLR Speedy, all side by side, 4th and 5th, although different laps. So Randy Moore letting Speedy go by, although this looks to be some juicy action. Let's go on board with the Porsche. Oh, a little bit of contact! Oh, we went on board at the right or wrong moment. Well, right moment to catch that bit of action, but wrong in terms of if I was responsible for it. Randy Moore very sportingly letting Speedy go back past them after that incident. Hopefully Speedy doesn't have any damage from that. Indeed they don't. Whew. Tensions at breaking point. As a blue flags for Speedy. So who's that coming up behind them? Is that a race leader? No? No, it's second place Lecce is coming up. So 2nd, 4th and 5th, very close together on circuit. Randy Moore just about within that slipstream range, although I'd highly doubt they'd attempt to pass unless they had a very significant pace advantage. Perhaps just wanted to save a bit of fuel actually, considering they were one that probably needs to do another stop. Tishu, they are in 6th at the moment. that sprint model BMW M6, so a little bit more punchy on the straights, a little bit less aero compared to the endurance model. The endurance model has some vents over the front wheel arches, which help cooling and such. Not here on the sprint model. As Incredible is into the pit, so they reckon they can get to the end from here. Again, they're about the halfway mark. Out the pits goes Incredible as our race leader makes their way into the pits. Now they've actually done a very long stint here as a T17. 41 viewers, by the way. I've just got the notification for that. Thank you all so much for tuning in for part 4 of the ERF 12 Hours of Bathurst. Tyre change, fuel going in. Very consistent stint by T17. Again, really unfortunate for the other two that were ahead of him, that they left, although of course one of them we won't speak about. But Apex especially, really unfortunate for that assumed disconnect. There'll probably be more info on that on the Discord or something like that. There is a link to the Discord in the description if any of you are new and not in the Discord. Be sure to check it out. Also, there's a link to my own channel, Nookshot Media, in the description as well, so feel free to head on over. We'll be actually starting some events starting tomorrow, some 40-minute Group 3 races. Funnily enough, at Mount Panorama for round 1. Still some entries, slots available for that, so feel free to contact me in the Discord if interested in any of that stuff. Of course, the main reason we're here is to raise funds for victims of the Turkey and Syria earthquakes. That's the main link in the description, the top link. Be sure to check that out. And again, even if you can't donate, just share the stream with family, friends, other Discord servers. Any way you can, it all helps to spread the message and you know, potential increase of funds for those that can, even if you can't. All very much appreciated, and it all goes, of course, to a very good cause. Scrolling through the order, still, the gap between Lecce and Welsh Great has increased a bit to 24.3 seconds. And it does seem that Lecce has been a bit faster with their average laps. Lap 32 seems to be a bit of a dud for Welsh Great. At 205.6, they may have made a bit of a mistake there. That's actually most of the gap that increased by. It was around 20 seconds before. It's now up to 24. So that works out roughly right. Fantastic helicopter shots as well that we get here at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. Fantastic place in real life as well, has to be said. Definitely one for the bucket list. Oh! Massive incident Oh, and that's... Oof! Lecce very narrowly escaping. Wow, that was a heart-and-mouth moment as Randy Moore lost it just before the S's. There'll be yellow flags, no doubt. Woolley seemingly very nicely slowed down. Just being cautious in that incident. And that's another one losing it in that particular section of circuit. So a little bit before the S's in this case. Randy Moore has picked up front aero and front left suspension damage, as you can see on a graphic. Bottom left. Oh, that is a costly mistake. I think they were very close to Speedy, although again, not fighting for position. Those two were very close together. Perhaps Randy Moore had a little bit extra on pace, so wanted to just stick as close as possible. But then the dirty air, I'm guessing, is what caused them to wash out wide, maybe clip the grass or the gravel on the outside. It's a really tricky section of circuit. Into the pits they go, as does ART Woolley. They don't have damage, but this is a scheduled stop for them. Again, around that halfway point for them. Might be a bit close between them and Hansa. No, I think Hansa's going to get past them. Yep, they're still fueling that McLaren as Hansa has gone on to the mountain straight. Randy Moore out on circuit onto the mediums as ART Woolley rejoins back in 8th place. DCT Incredibile has another car to potentially chase down here. The gap between them and Thomas Batty is actually quite close, 1.6 seconds. Both Porsches. Not sure if they're both for the same team or not. Incredibile DC team, Thomas Batty also for DC team. Yes, so it's what would be car number 9 ahead of car number 11. Quite fitting numbers for the Porsche. Oh, might just have grazed the wall momentarily. Also, of course, Thomas Batty probably still due another pit stop, so probably not going to hold up their teammate if they can help it. ART Woolley, they're just ahead of 6th place BFER Tiju, with the blue flags being waved. Very nicely done through the chase. Apex Magnet has left the lobby. They, of course, were our race leader. Just in the lobby watching at this stage. Hopefully, again, that car will be able to rejoin. Now, I'd imagine Woolley will let BMW go by on this particular straight, because it'll be a very tricky place to pass in the mountain section if they don't let him go past. Yep, very nicely done. I think that's probably the best way you can do that without losing too much time. With, of course, Incredibile, they see Sneaky in the background. Closing in, 1.8 seconds, 1.9. Back to 1.8. These two are on the same strategy, unlike Thomas Batty. I'm actually quite impressed that Thomas Batty is able to run with these guys. And the difference in tyres especially. Fuel too. A little bit slidey. That might just be netcode. Not quite in slipstream range. The gap is down to just about 1 second. And the McLaren stretching its legs on the straight in comparison to the Porsche. So the McLaren good straight line speed. Here we are, rear wing cam on the McLaren. See some blue flag notifications, so someone's coming up. Oh, massive dive! And overshot. Well, tell you what, the camera work today's been on point. But a massive mistake by DCT Incredibile. And Wooly doing a very good job avoiding that major incident. No damage there. Thomas Batty is managing to capitalise on this. They are looking to the inside. Side by side going towards Griffin's Bend. They see Incredibile in the background, and it looks like Thomas Batty is going to get that move done. Well. Now I doubt it was intentional, of course, but the two teammates working together on that one. Thomas Batty managing to get past in the end, but DCT Incredibile massively overshot into the last corner. And again, very thankful that it didn't end in worse circumstances than it did. No one with mechanical damage from that. Wow. Unbelievable scenes. Oh, Thomas Batty's actually picked up a bit of a penalty, it would seem. 0.5. So they're actually going to end up giving the position back, it would seem. But not before giving a very nice helping of slipstream to the McLaren. And there's the position made back. And Incredibile goes back past as well, so nothing happened really for the last 2 laps. Everything stayed the same. Fascinating stuff. All 3 of these drivers, though, extremely close. Incredibile will be looking to make a pass stick instead of overshoot next time around. Oh, a bit shaky. I don't think they're going to get it done this time around. Going into Griffin's Bend. They're probably going to have to stick behind. And there's a Porsche in the background as well lurking. There were blue flags, I believe, relating to that Porsche catching up. ART Wooly doing a great job at this stage, fending these guys off as Tishu is into the pits. That they've picked up a penalty, but it seems that is a scheduled stop. Is it? No, something definitely gone wrong there, because okay, they were on mediums, they switched to soft, so that have they only done 1 lap on the mediums? Is that what I'm guessing that's what's happened there. But again, very odd. Maybe just not that comfortable on the mediums. If they didn't lose position from all that, then I suppose why not? In chat, Black Flag Racing TV saying that it's bringing GMAC into it. Now we'll have to check, as it looks like the two teammates of DCT closing up, no overtake on that occasion. 11th. GMAC, they're 21.9 seconds back, but indeed, if the three ahead of them continue to battle like this, that gap will continue to drop. Hansa into the pits, and they're probably going to get overtaken by all three of these guys. There's also McLaren ahead of them, as that Porsche of... is that Randy Moore? It is. Randy Moore's making their way through. That was the third Porsche in the mix. Randy Moore's about a lap or more ahead of all these guys, so hence the blue flags. Thomas Batty's already let them by, but given the battle for 8th and 7th, I'm having difficulty thinking where these guys would let Randy Moore go by. It might just be a case that Randy Moore's going to have to settle in behind them for at least the mountain section. Look at that. All over the back bumper. Love that McLaren. Fantastic how on the compression it grips up and turns in. Absolutely awesome stuff. Into the S as they go. Everyone looking relatively stable. Randy Moore continuing to close up on these further down the field cars. But of course Randy Moore's going to find it difficult overtaking, given Incredible's also going to have the slipstream off the McLaren, but never mind, because they're now side by side on the Conrad straight. Wooly will have the preferred line going into the chase. Oh, 3 wide momentarily, and Incredible's off the circuit, and Randy Moore's off the circuit. Wow. Everything turning into fireworks here at Mount Panorama. So Randy Moore, I don't know if there was any contact involved with that. If my replay function was working, I would have definitely checked that out. Incredible, we saw take evasive action at the chase, as it seemed there was momentarily 3 wide, and 3 to 1 definitely doesn't go. All that kerfuffle seems to have benefited ART Wooly the most. 1.1 seconds the gap. They've broken slipstream range. They're going to be hoping to maintain that gap, although it's going to be very tricky. As it already, look at that, Incredible. Fantastic exit, really close to the wall again, flashing the lights. I'm guessing Wooly didn't have the best of exits on the uphill section of the cutting. So the gaps have closed in once again, and there's McLaren up ahead. Welsh Grey into the pits. I'll quickly check in on them. They've actually picked up mechanical damage themselves. Front aero, front left suspension. Seeing quite a lot of those today. Randy Moore didn't pick up any damage from when they were in that incident earlier, so that's at least thankful to see. Now, will the two teammates have swapped around? I was about to suggest, will they? Seems they have done. So what's that McLaren up ahead? Is that M. Walter? That's it. They're in 12th. Could be a little bit of a bottleneck going on here. Unless they decide to help out their fellow McLaren. I don't know fully if they're teammates or not. With a little bit of slipstream down the mountain straight before letting them go by. It seems they're going to let them go by now. I don't think the Porsches are quite close enough to benefit from this. Indeed not. So Porsches are going to be stuck behind that other McLaren for at least a section of the circuit. Look at this, 2 McLarens, 2 Porsches. Fantastic stuff. And Walter doing a very good job there at the cutting, staying off the racing line. That's actually really well done to M. Walter there. Mentioned earlier, it's extremely difficult to find somewhere to safely let cars by at this circuit, but that was really, really well done. Through the downhill of the S's once again. And will the McLaren be able to fend off these Porsches for much longer? Now, Thomas Batty is the car ahead of these two, but they are also the one with the more worn tyres, and potentially looking to do another stop before the end of this Part 4 stint. Also, the McLaren just managed to break slipstream. Porsche's not able to benefit much, and we saw earlier the McLaren was a little bit faster on the straights anyway. Oh, a little bit of a mistake on exit was that from Thomas Batty. Because these very small slips that, when leading onto a straight, can cost several tenths. Just the slightest mistake. There you see 5th place, Randy Moore in the background again, so they're catching up once more. I think it would be a good time to go on board again. So we're going through the mountain section. Here's the cutting. Very tricky corner to put the power on, as Thomas Batty is actually using a bit of traction control, it would seem, for that. Oh, clipping the wall. That would have slowed them down a little bit. Thankfully, no damage. But yeah, I think the tyres, especially that rear right, is starting to feel the pressure. Not just the tyre pressure. Sorry, I don't know why they hire me for this kind of stuff. Oh, again, just heard a little bit of a clip on that exit of the Forest Elbow. I believe that is. Thomas Batty is within slipstream range, but not quite close enough for it to make that much of a difference. Pretty much stagnant as they make their way down the Conrad Straight, although Woolley makes a little bit of an error at the chase, but a much better run through that final corner. The gap continues to increase once again. Now, I have to be on the defensive. Here we are, rear wing cam once again. ART Woolley's McLaren. The Porsche of Thomas Batty just behind. There you see they're well into the slipstream range now. The effect will increase the faster these guys go. Thomas Batty thinking a little bit better of it than sending it into Griffin's Bend. Discretion the better part of valor on that occasion. As, oh, nearly making a move into the cutting. That was a spicy one. You also see Incredible lurking in the background. Looking at the minimap, there's quite a few cars at the cutting that are a little bit congested. Hold on, is that livery of DCT Incredible changing? Yeah, it's changing. That is bizarre. Oh, bit of contact into the S's. Don't believe any damage was caused. That's allowed Incredible to catch up to a point where their livery doesn't render out. Here comes the Porsche. Now what will Wooly do here? Looks like Thomas Matty being forced to the outside. They're gonna try and make it stick. A massive send. Do they get the car stopped? They do. A fantastic move there by Thomas Batty, even on the older tyres. Now that's the kind of overtaking we like to see. Question remains, will DCT Incredible manage to also benefit? Still within slipstream range is ART Wooly, but it won't be as effective as the slipstream Incredible's getting. Just putting themselves in the mirrors there, I think, unsettling Wooly, trying to further break the slipstream. Oh, Thomas Batty's gone wide. Mistake there. And they've picked up damage from that. Oh, a costly error. Well, they made the overtake stick and then... Oh, that's extremely unfortunate. Oh, that's gonna put them out the running. I think they were out the running anyway for this particular scrap because of the fuel situation. Tyres as well. I would not be surprised if they do come into the pits now. Just because they'd probably have to make a stop anyway. Oh, wow. And there is again Randy Moore in the background, closing up. Incredible and Wooly. I know we've not focused on much of the other battles on circuit, but this is by far the most interesting, from what I can tell. Incredible just with a nose ahead, will be on the outside for the first part of the chase. Do they get it stopped for the second part? Yep. Had the inside for that second part, and very nicely done indeed. Yeah, it's very strange how the liveries keep loading in and out. Shaking all about, hokey cokey, etc. Hopefully that's not copyrighted. Thomas Batty into the pits. Ah, really unfortunate mistake by them. And Incredible has managed to break slipstream. That was crucial, that they got that done early. Will they be able to maintain that gap, or will Wooly close up in the slightly clearer air through the mountain section? Oh, damage for our second place car. That is Lecce in the Lexus. Lexus, rather. It could be Letsky for all I know, but SCHs, I don't know. Apologies again. This pit stop is going to allow the gap to close up between them and Welsh Great. Don't know if that will be coming into effect necessarily for this stint, but definitely look out between second and third, that battle, going into part 5 of the race, which is not overly far away, I'd imagine. Things have gone by quite quickly here at Mount Panorama for stint 4. Thanks again for everyone who is tuned in. I'm of course Nukeshot Zokeo of Nukeshot Media, here live on the Endurance Racing Federation channel. The link to my own channel in the description, as I mentioned earlier. Going to be posting some Group 3 races over there. Also a link to the Discord of the Endurance Racing Federation if you want to get in contact for future events, or indeed contacting me for tomorrow's event, also here at Mount Panorama. And again, if you can share the streams, leave it a like, bring it to the attention of family, other discords. Most important thing is the fundraiser that we're doing for the victims of the Turkey and Syria earthquakes. Again, even if you can't donate personally, share it around. It's all very much appreciated. "35 seconds to get between second and third at this moment. Lecce on the mediums, which is interesting. I'm not 100% sure if mediums are a mandatory compound for each part of the race. It is for some races. Might be here, might not be here. It'd be very odd if they switched to mediums at this stage, though. If it wasn't a mandatory thing. Welsh Grey also into the pits, so they've actually picked up damage themselves. Front aero, front right suspension. GMAC and Hansa close. I'm gonna have to check that one out. There is Hansa. Thanks once again to the live stream there. Let's have a quick check-in on kind of laps these two are doing. Oh, personal best last time around for GMAC. It's a 202.272. That's plenty of twos. And indeed, they are ahead of Hansa now. Looks like that pass may have happened a bit earlier. Hansa's pace hasn't been overly stellar, if I must be honest, compared to GMAC. They're doing 203s, 204s. Personal best through that sector 1, but it's been a bit tricky for them. 203s, again that 202.2 for GMAC on lap 41. Thomas Batty in 11th place. They've just recently made the pit stop, so quite a few of these people are making their pit stops to the mandatory mediums quite late on. Be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Some of these orders getting them out of the way earlier in the race, I'm presuming. 4 seconds the gap between Incredible and Woolley, so that has indeed increased. Tissue, 1 minute and 10 ahead of Incredible. So that's another one to look out for going into stint 5. Again, different drivers, but this kind of pace keeps up. That'll be a closer one. Randy Moore in 5th. Very consistent 202s from lap 41 onwards, so they're setting a very solid pace. Same goes for CLR Speedy. As we get further towards the front, the pace seems to be getting it. I say a bit more consistent, but there was a 205.7 last time around for Speedy. There's a bit of traffic in the background. It's 11th and 12th. So perhaps there's just a little bit of a hold up through the mountain section or something of that effect. Possibly a mistake, we don't know. Welsh Great, they are in third. Not long making their pit stop switch over to the mediums. Let's see. Also on the mediums at this stage. Ooh, very close. Running over that curb on the exit of Griffin's Bend. And 2 minutes and 43 seconds ahead of everyone else who's remaining in the field is T17. And they've got a bit of a slipstream here on ART Wooly. Wooly being very predictable there, staying on one side of the circuit. If it was for position, I'd expect the drivers to be staying right in the middle of the circuit, so overtaking cars have to be right up towards the grass. It's a nice little defensive technique. It's definitely worked for me before, and I think actually the SEC race at Bathurst, which was also hosted by the Endurance Racing Federation. Doing a quick reset on the stream. There we go. Now, let's see how close some of these other gaps are. We're coming up towards the end of this stint of the race. Not 100% sure who's going to be commentating for stint 5, part 5. That will all be sorted, I'm sure. The gap between Incredible and Wooly now 8.2, so Incredible, probably from my perspective, the driver of this particular stint. Driver of the stint, somewhat driver of the day-ish. You know the kind of award I'm thinking. They've been the biggest mover of the race, that's for certain. They're now 7th place. And the DC team will be very happy with that performance from them. If things stay as they are, of course. ART Wooly in 8th. And GMAX actually closing in on Wooly, I think. Yeah, 205s for Wooly, compared to 204s for GMAC. So GMAC managed to get past Hansa and now looking to close in on Wooly as well, although the tyre situation on that Mercedes is going to be getting very sketchy towards the end. They've still got over 10 laps left to go for GMAC. Sorry, who closed the gap from 21 seconds? Black Flag Racing TV in chat. Again, one of our correspondents. Thanks again. Might be referring to GMAC. If that is the case, then it explains why the tyres are a little bit burnt. GMAC on Wooly, yep, that makes sense. Thanks very much on that.
Good evening, Zokeo.
Ah, hello. Who's
I'm
this
Chronic Team. I will be streaming Stint 5.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining us on the crossover point.
Yeah.
Still a few laps to go. Race leader is on lap 53 of 59.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I'd just jump in, keep you company.
Ah, much appreciated.
Saw
Given it's...
some great racing and some stupid incidents as well.
Yes, again, that will probably all be sorted on Discord, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
but
sure.
given it's stint 4... Oh, hold up. Incredible has looped it at the, what was it? The Forest Elbow, and that's allowing Wooly to go past. Though...
Okay.
Oh, that is for position. Oh, wow. So that's damage for Incredible. Curse the commentator again. I am so sorry. I was just saying how Incredible was my driver of this particular stint.
Yeah, that's just my karma
I
coming
know,
into
it's
the
awful.
lobby.
Well, here comes GMAC. They're looking to make that overtake. Given it is, part 4, I said that I took this stint because I thought it would be relatively quiet. It has been anything but quiet. It has been fantastic. Incredible. Into the pits. T17, our race leader, also into the pits. T17's picked up damage. What? That's race leader with damage. Unbelievable scenes. Well, they're probably going to switch over to the mediums if they haven't used them already, so somewhat scheduled. But again, that's not ideal. They've actually not repaired the damage, they've sent him out. And there's a 1.5 second penalty, that's probably for cutting the pit entry.
Yeah, probably.
Oof. Wow. Unexpected stuff. They do still have over a lap over the rest of the field, does the T17, but still, you don't want to be making these kind of mistakes.
Nope, not towards the end. But as we saw during the day, everyone makes mistakes.
That's the thing, even like the top guys.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing also that Letschi also picked up damage, that second place Lexus. So all these guys not immune to mistakes. Just staying as consistent as they can. So again, a really tricky circuit for that. I'm not going to mention any individuals now because I don't want the curse of the commentators to continue. I'm not going to say anyone's doing a good job. Battle for 7th and 8th though, at this point. That is Wooly and GMAC respectively. That gap has indeed closed down from around 22 seconds we heard in the chat. 21, and down the inside goes GMAC at the final corner, very nicely done. Quite comfortable for them, I must say. Which is very odd considering the tyre situation. Wow. I think GMAC's going to be on the rims by the end of this stint. Incredible stuff. And Hansa potentially going to be catching Wooly next. Be interesting to monitor that particular gap. Personal best through sector 1, which is just the first corner. But still, it's better to be
It's an important corner.
Than red. Sorry, what was that?
It's an important corner.
It is. It's a very important corner. If you miss that
one, your lap is done.
Absolutely.
Well, your lap starts at the last corner, to be exactly. Come flying up the straight.
Yep. It's interesting also because the mountain straight, although shorter than the Conrad straight, because it's uphill, is pretty much about the same in terms of how crucial getting a good exit out of that last corner is.
Yeah.
Just scanning through the order still. Race leader on lap 55 or 59. Now they will go into the pits, I believe, at the end of lap 58 for the switchover.
Lap 5 is about to start. We're about to do their art lap.
Fantastic stuff. It's been a very entertaining broadcast, I must say.
Yeah, I saw some stuff.
Hope it's been as entertaining for the rest of the stints. I can't imagine it wouldn't have been.
First I thought it was lag. I was like, okay, liveries are disappearing, must be lag. And then I was like, nope, that's not lag.
Yeah,
That's
it's
on purpose.
it's a
Oh my
bit of a
God.
strange one. I did clear my temporary data, the cache data, before joining the lobby, so maybe
Yeah,
that
well,
was something to do with it. I'm not 100% sure.
it's just GT7.
Yeah, there's probably the explanation for that.
3 steps forward, 2 steps back.
At least it's progress, even if it's
Yeah.
gradual progress.
Yeah.
Hansa is indeed catching up to Wooly. The gap now 3.2 seconds. Charging on the uphill. Now I'm not able to do an audio check live, so if you could just in chat tell me if my fellow commentator is all loud and clear in preparation for his own upcoming stint, that would be much appreciated.
I think so. I joined Richard before your stint, so
Ah, fantastic.
I think it should be good.
Yep, everything sounds to be okay according to chat. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Again, be sure to check out the links in the description. The main one, of course, being the fundraiser for the victims of the Turkey and Syria earthquakes that were recent. Again, even if you can't donate yourself, be sure to share the link and the stream. It's all very much appreciated.
Doesn't have to be much. Everything helps.
Absolutely. 2.5 seconds the gap between Hansa and Wooly. T17, very solid stint by them. I say that as they have mechanical damage, but overall it's been okay. They're pretty much managing their pace at this stage. They are, of course, our race leaders. Is there any news on the car that Apex was in? Who was our race leader, of course. Is there any chance of that one rejoining for Stint 5, would you know?
Not that I know of, but I can check on that really quick.
Okay, it's a Nissan GTR. I'm not sure which one on the spotter's guide.
Well,
Apex
I can see
it's number 44, according to this.
in the lobby. Yeah, 44 is in.
Fantastic.
MRL Shane.
They're unfortunately going to be, I believe, according to rules of previous races, going to be rejoining at the back of the field. So it's several laps down. But that's just how it goes with disconnects and rejoin the race. At least they are able to rejoin the race at all.
Yep.
Hello again to everyone in chat. Thanks again for tuning in for what has been a fantastic day of coverage, and it continues here on the Endurance Racing Federation YouTube channel. Be sure to leave a like if you are enjoying the stream.
Yep, I'm gonna start my stream up.
Okay. T17 with their hazard lights on. Don't know if they're paused or not. I think they might be. Hazards off. Just about to go on to lap 58, so it'll be one more lap for T17 before the switchover.
Right, my stream is up.
Eighth and 9th will be a battle to look out for, I think, quite early on for your stream. That's between McLaren and a Mercedes of, in this lobby at least, ART Wooly and Race Asylum Hansa. There's only 2.1 seconds between them at the moment, so that could get very spicy going into Stint 5.
Okay.
making his way through the cutting, our race leader on the uphill. I'd imagine a very tricky section for the Nissan GTR is that uphill, because it's quite difficult to put the power down in it anyway. So that uphill not helping. Nevertheless, very good job by them. Relatively consistent 205s the last couple of times on those mediums. Going into the S's. And the Falcon Tyres Forest Elbow. Hazard lights on once again. That seems to be a recurring thing on the straight, so I'm assuming that they're communicating via Discord on the straights. Of course, they are the league manager, so many responsibilities, many hats.
Okay, we already see some guys on track. That's not a good thing.
Fantastic.
We're okay.
Just about to wrap up part 4 as our race leader is making their way into the pit lane. They're not stopped just yet, but they've just entered the pits. So expect the first car on circuit for stint 5 very shortly.
Right. Yeah. Let's just erase that.
And stopped. There should go the Race Asylum Nissan.
Yeah. Oh.
You have
We
to
are
wait.
off.
You'll have to wait another lap, unfortunately, for Lecce and that Lexus to catch up and make their way through. They're just on the mountain straight through Griffin's Bend now on lap 58 or 59.
Okay, we can see the first lap of Jacko Racer with the Nissan. Guys doing a great job. Very dominant as well today.
That's the thing, got to be consistent.
And it's a very strong team as well.
In part 4 at least, the pace has been a little bit lacking in that sense then, because our fastest lap has been a 2:09.69. So not quite breaking the 2-minute barrier. Still decently quick though. That was a Lecce in that Lexus in second place, which is making its way down the Conrad Straight. So you'll have a second car to watch relatively shortly.
Okay.
Change for P8 we're hearing, as indeed Hansa has managed to get past ART Woolley, so that position has changed around. Lecce into the pits and coming to a stop. Not yet.
Okay.
Hold the tension. And stopped.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what is happening here. But I didn't... Yeah. I didn't had my hoods on, so I didn't see what was happening. I thought he had damage, so I was like, oh, what the... Okay, 1 and 2 are out.
You'll have a third joining you shortly. Welsh Grey in the Aston Martin into the pits and is stopped. Next will be the BMW of CLR Speedy.
Okay.
Looks like they're out of fuel almost.
Yeah, 3 minutes behind the leader.
Speedy has stopped.
Okay.
It'll be a little more time before 5th place comes into the pits. They're currently on lap 57.
Okay. He's getting rid of his penalty now.
Oh! Randy Moore's actually just crashed. So that's 5th place has crashed. They've picked up damage. Front aero, both front suspension. That was at the Forest Elbow.
That's
and
my
they've still got
teammate.
one more lap to do before they can get to the pits with the switchover.
Ow, ow, ow. Hello, Pony Boy. What's up, mate? And everyone else in the stream. Good evening and welcome to this special event of the fundraiser for the earthquakes in Syria and Turkey. In the link below you will you can find something to donate. Anything helps. Yeah, it's something that we can't imagine how the state of the people are, how it is to live like that. It's absurd. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Zokeo race is still in first. Yeah.
It would seem that Randy Moore's picked up some more damage. They now have rear aero and rear left suspension, so may have looped it around somewhere.
Yeah, pushed a little bit too much. Yeah, I think there was someone too late. He didn't enter on time, and one guy doesn't have the setup up, so too bad. Okay. Yeah, sure. It is a charity event, so everything has to be friendly and donable. Ready to race on second position here. 2 minutes 05 behind the leader and 44 seconds in front of Bad Omen. I'm gonna go through the order quickly. Then Bad Omen has 35 seconds advantage on Jupe.
You're about to have a 5th car in the mix. Randy Moore has made it to the pits.
Okay, that will be Lucas. Pony Boy. Yeah, man, that's when you want to make a career. You have to work hard.
And Randy Moore has stopped. You should have a Porsche leaving the pits.
Yeah, changing tires as we speak. Here we go. Lucas is out. Come on, GTSV.
What happened to HM Motorsport in Stint 4? I am not sure which car that is, unfortunately. We've not had liveries this whole time. I hope... Are you guys having liveries, at least, in your lobby? Oh, fantastic. Normal service will have resumed.
Lucas... Could be.
Was that what that car was?
Yeah. And did a smart move, changing his mediums. He can go flat out with the soft ones. Yeah. Barry is opening up with a 204.2 on the mediums. Good lap. One bad omen already has damage. Can we have that in replay? Or are we too late? No, we already had it. Front arrow and wheel suspension. Doing a 206. Yeah. P4 is on lap 4 and Lucas Maas is on P5 and is on lap 2. So he will try to unlap himself. Putting the pressure on Juppe. Definitely not. Yeah, let him go. Stick behind him. Try to short shift. Save some fuel behind him. Maybe learn something from him.
Sixth car about to enter the mix.
Yeah. No point of burning your tires.
And the BMW of Tijoux has stopped.
Yep. Yep, no tire change. That's going to be interesting. Ooh, and a penalty, 1 second. Must have entered the pit wrong. Here comes our race leader right behind them.
You say they didn't change tyres. That will be especially interesting because they've been sat in the pits, so they will have had a lot of time to get quite cold, I'd imagine. So
yeah, very cold.
Start.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally think this is not the track to play with it. Nope, definitely not.
GMAC and Hansa both in the pits, separated by 2.5 seconds. That's 7th and 8th place. So that's going to be a very close one for you guys to monitor in Lobby 5. Thomas Batty also in the pits. So that's another one. They're 12 seconds back from Hansa.
Stormfly fueling up, exiting. Oh, and he has damage already. Stormfly has front damage and back damage. Oh, but why did he fuel up and didn't repair?
Tenth and 11th also in the pits. 10th has just stopped.
Chevrolet is out with the Porsche. And here we go. DC team Bisonte is out as well. The back we see ready to race on P2.
Something's just happened here.
Yeah,
It would seem
Emma
that
and
last
Shane
place
is out.
and Walter entered the pits 1 lap too early. They came in on lap 57, where everyone else came in on lap 58. So they've essentially gained a lap. Now I don't know if that's actually a thing in the rules, whether you're allowed to do that and gain a lap. Then the stewards are going to have to look into that one, I'm afraid.
P3.
It's a McLaren. It's
Oh, here we see a little incident between P2 and P3. Ready to race, trying to overtake Bisonte. And Bisonte not really having it. You got a blue flag. Yeah, intent. You have to let him go, dude. It's a blue flag. Yeah. He's still in his outlap, so... Oof.
Okay, that pretty much concludes part 4 of the live stream. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in, and wish you guys on the commentary team all the best for stint 5. Everyone in chat, be sure to switch over if you haven't already. And this has been Zokeo signing out.
Yeah, thanks for streaming, man.